Hey guys, Redbeard here. Look, hope y'all having a great Saturday. Man, lots going on. Last night we had the final, the regionals final game, district final game, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, hard-fought game, tough opposition there. Anyway, come up short in the second half, man. Held the score 0-0 all the way through the first. Had interception early on into the second half. Kind of, you could just feel like a momentum shift in the whole game. And I'll tell you what, the opposing team there figured out, they just started running it. Their pass game was not that good in the first place, and it wasn't that they broke any big plays. I mean, that was the amazing part. It was just that steady churn, that 3-4 yards every single down, and you can't win against that, man. You can't. Anyway, it is what it is. The guys did great, better than any season I ever had playing. Can't fault them for that. There was some calls and whatnot I didn't really care for. Some calls not made that really should have been made. Anyway, things got a bit rough out there. Little poor sportsmanship going on at times. But overall, I feel that Troy really conducted themselves well. Pretty impressive. The helping guys up off the ground and whatnot. Anyway, good testament to the coaching staff and the players themselves. Really good team. Glad we could be a part of it. Glad Zeppelin decided to play, and it was a lot of fun watching them. So we're gonna host a little cookout for everybody. Cookout, bonfire, whatever you want to call it. Here in a couple weeks, we'll do up a mess of pork butts and get the fire going and whatnot. It should be a pretty good time. I'm ready for a campfire. We've been a little while without one. Anyway, that's what's going on today. More cool stuff. I have a slab. The 60 by 60 slab is poured. They're cutting it in today. Man, that's pretty cool. We're getting closer. The big news is when I go down in December, we will be able to put the building up now. So we do have a slab to work off of. So a lot of work to do still, a lot of work to do, a lot of money to spend. But anyway, we'll try not to think about all that. But what we're working on right now is, if you remember last week, I didn't really do a lot to it, but I got this bracket made up and mounted on the rig to put my receiver off of. Well, I got the receiver in. It's a little Reese bolt-on, 3,500 pound class 2. It's nothing big, right? I got recovery points on the back end to be just moving trailers around in the yard and whatnot. Not a whole lot of work going to be done with that, but I needed something to hook a receiver into. And it came with a bunch of nice hardware. It came with what I'm sure are great instructions. We'll probably never open those. But anyway, what I decided to do is there's a tube cross member in the rear of that Samurai frame, and it's right in the way for sliding receivers. Now on the Sammy Mog, the way the frame was built and the bumper and everything, we had to trim off the back of the receivers we use so they don't protrude through. I don't really want to do that on this one, so what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to do a 2-inch drop kit off of this bracket. So I got this 2-inch square tube quarter wall. That's what I built my doors out of. A little bit overkill, I get it. But anyway, we're going to take this steel here. It's not quite 3/16. I'm sorry. We're going to take this steel here and make like a 2-inch drop, and then we will inset this in, seal weld around it, get it all tied in, and then I'll mount this up underneath. We'll make a little bracket on the back, hold it all together. I think it's going to be just fine. The end goal, the plan, when we're all done, I feel that we should have plenty of rigidity there. Good tie-in. I think it's going to work just fine. So that's the goal. Man, got to get moving on the Ram Charger. It's in. That was a big accomplishment. Power windows work. All that stuff works. We're ready to start stripping body panels is the goal. I got next week off work. I'll work a little bit Monday, but that's it. And so, anyway, remember to thaw them turkeys. We'll be smoking next weekend. And anyway, it's almost Thanksgiving, guys. Reflect on your year. Think about everything that's happened that's worth, you're thankful for. Anyway, thanks for following along, guys. We'll catch up with you in a minute. Guys, look, we got the drop, the extension, whatever you want to call it. We got the riser welded in, steel welded. Everything looks good. It's still pretty warm. I got the powder coat cleaned off this hitch, and I wallered out the holes over here to get the powder coat out of them, as well as to give a bigger rosette to tie in those bolt holes down to that tube. Plus, we're going to seal well all the way around here. And then when we get done, it's probably, you can't see back here, but I got some 3-inch flat plate. And I'm going to take and build at a 45, come off the edge of this weld, and come up and catch the back of this receiver. The goal is to not let it twist. I think once it's bolted into the 3/8 steel, the rear bumper, I think we're going to be just fine. So anyway, guys, that's where we're at. That's what we're working on. Hope you enjoy the time lapse. It's kind of fun. I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep going. Look at it. Would you just look at it? We're pretty well tied in. Centered everything up. Looks pretty good. The rosettes come out all right. I really don't think it needs it. But this is what I was talking about, bracing it up to the back of this. I'll probably go ahead and do it, because after all, it's not just junk. It's overthunk junk. Hey guys, you remember earlier when I talked about I needed clearance for that cross member? Well, then I flipped and welded that angle iron in there and took it all up. So I had to cut it out with the plasma cutter. And then being overthunk junk, I flipped it around and welded it back in. I'm gonna use these spreader washer things from the bolt end to help mount it up. But, a little hammer finish drying on here. And she is gonna be good to go. Anyway, it's looking hot. Looking hot. Do have to throw some new plugs in there. Look guys, you got a 1.6 16 valve. Don't try churching it up. It is garbage. And it wants garbage spark plugs. So throwing in iridium triple core $12 plugs ain't gonna help. Buy the friggin' OEM nickel core $5 plugs. That's what's going in it today. Anyway, we're gonna try to drive it down to Trivia here in a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Not gonna say I don't have full confidence, but we are following with the recovery bag and waffle and dimples. So let's see how it goes tonight, guys. Thanks for watching along. Old Waffles is all hitched up.